This is episode 101. I can't believe we made it this far, but people will drive past a local business they have known for years, but only give it a try when a stranger on the internet they have never met says it's good. A one-sentence review, a TikTok recommendation, and a YouTube comment, somehow that feels more reliable than anything else these days. This episode explores the strange hierarchy of credibility we have created in the digital age. Why reviews carry so much weight. Why influencers feel more trustworthy than experts. And why social proof often matters more than experience. We break down how this shift happened, what it means for local businesses, and why trust today is less about who you are and more about who is talking about you. He's Matt Hanson. Matt, how are you?
I am good.
You know, this is timely, as a lot of people are, we're actually recording this going right before Christmas of 2025. And even I bought a bunch of stuff looking at the reviews.
Yeah. See, reviews are huge, right? So I was laughing about this as we were kind of preparing for this episode. And the fact that we just bought 2 brand new TVs, and we haven't bought TVs in years, right? For some reason, we've been given TVs through family and whatever else, but we decided to buy 2 new TVs. My wife wanted to put up a TV above the fireplace, and I was tired of watching, my Chicago Bears win on a 42-inch in the den, right? So we were like, all right, well, let's buy a new TV, and we were focused on the one above the fireplace, and then I kind of was like, well, let's throw another one in there just for me.
It's only it's under 500.
It was $179.
I know, isn't that crazy how they've gotten it?
Yeah. So I was laughing about it, but we're sitting here and we're going through it, and she goes, the only thing my wife said to me is, we need this size, go find it from these places. And I'm laughing because when you used to go buy a TV back in the day, you would literally go look at the TV, the picture, all of it, all of the stuff in a store. I didn't look at the screen. I didn't look at anything. I looked at kind of how it was built. But the first thing I did was I'm like, all right, well, let's go to reviews. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, this one has 8 reviews. I don't really want to look at that one. This one has 179 reviews. Okay, that's enough that I can get kind of a feel out of it, right? So we buy these 2 TVs that show up in boxes at my house. I've never seen what they look like. I have no idea what I'm buying. But because some random Joe Schmo out there has provided their review and said, hey, this is 4 stars, this is 5 stars, whatever it is, I put my trust into that. So I bought 2 brand new TVs that showed up to my house, sight unseen, based on somebody I've never met in my entire life, because I read reviews, and that's what I'm watching. So it was funny because last Sunday, I sit down to watch the NFL games, and I go, all right, let's see what this TV is all about. Had no idea what I was in for, right? So it was kind of like this unboxing of the TV. Let's plug it in. Let's see what is it going to keep up with the football hurtling through the air? Is it going to be blurry? Is it going to be too bright? All these different questions. And it was funny because it was different from the TV that I had before, but instead of me going, oh, this picture is not what I want or whatever, I'm just like, okay, that's what I got. And it's all stemmed from a review, right? It's from various people that had reviewed it. And that's what we've become at this point. Like literally, if I went to a store and somebody's telling me this is the best TV for the best price, and I look on their website and I see there's 179 reviews and they're all 2-star, I'm going to believe the reviews on the website versus the salesperson. So that's where we are today, is we believe people that we don't even know more than we believe people that we're actually talking to.
So why would we believe a stranger over, well, let's say it's not even a salesman. I mean, what if your buddy has a certain TV and says, this is the one you should get, but you go online and the reviews don't necessarily correlate with that. So you, in essence, you are believing the stranger over your buddy. Why?
Oh, I don't know. I do it all the time though, because one of my best friends is a major tech person, and everything in his house is completely connected. I mean, if the the power goes out in his place, everything shuts down, right? So much that I think he put up like a 500-pound ceiling fan at one point because it had so much technology in it. I don't know. It was so heavy. But anyway, he'll provide recommendations to me, and I'll go look online, and I can see myself doing this where I'm literally coming back to him and go, yeah, but it has 2.2 stars on here, right? So, and he'll argue, well, yeah, this and this may be faulty, but you're not going to use that. And I'll go back and I'll say, yeah, but it still has 2.2 stars. And I'm arguing because I just assume, and that's what the internet has done, I assume that power in numbers, I don't know who these people are. And there's a whole other thing that we can look at is, are these reputable? Are they, are the reviews from real people? Are they paid placements? Those types of things. But, we believe strangers more than we believe our best friends, maybe even our wife, husband, whatever it is. Like, we will believe that more than we will people that we know.
So you'll believe that's just reviews. Now you go to an influencer, and they're pushing a certain boot.
Right.
And I'm a boot guy,
Right.
and nobody knows what to get me for Christmas, so I'm like, well, get me another pair of Thursday boots. So I have looked at what color I might want. I think I got a black, a tan, and a brown. I don't need another pair, to be honest with you, but I'll take a gray one and looked around. Everywhere I go on the internet, everywhere is Johnston Murphy and all the other types of boots, and they're offering me great discounts. And then I go to the website on a different computer. That discount is in there. They're just giving it to me because they know that I buy Thursday boots. But there are a couple of influencers who will tell you to buy the other boots.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm seeing their videos and they're basically paid videos in my feed. So they're trying to push the influencers. Does that work?
Oh, of course it does. I mean, we're sitting here on a podcast today, and if we were telling people, go out there and buy this service, it changed my business, it does this, it does that, I mean, people are going to listen, right? So it doesn't mean that you are right or I am right. It's just our own personal opinions. And influencers, again, many of them, if not most of them, get paid to promote products. So you have to look at it from the standpoint of, do I want to believe that? Am I inclined to believe that? Or is it something that I can make that judgment from, right? So if somebody is out there authentically pushing something and there's no paid placement, there's no notification of it in there, then yeah, I mean, they're going to have that influence over individuals. And I see it with my own, especially my own daughter, because she'll say stuff like, oh, this person on Instagram has been promoting this. I want to try this. And I go, what is it? She's like, oh, they say it's the great and this and this and this. And I go, but why do you need it? She's like, I don't know. I see it all the time, and I just want to try it, right? So it's that awareness. It's, they're pushing them over to that consideration side of the funnel.
What are you pushing your daughter like that for? Can't she just get it like every other person?
Well, she does. She actually does. So, but it's funny because I will challenge all of those types of things. Or, again, my wife will say something, and I'll go, well, where did you see this from? And I'll ask, and it's just the marketer in me. Most people wouldn't do that, right? But a lot of people are influenced by their feeds. A lot of people are influenced by those influencers that are on the feed promoting certain things because they see it over and over and over again, and they think, oh, well, everybody's doing it. I need to keep up with the Joneses. So,
I mean, is it because, it's like just like instant society and you don't want to have to do the research and talk to family or friends or cohorts at work? You can just go online and it's just quick. Is that it?
That's totally it, right? So we are so pressed for time because we're moving so fast these days. Like, let's go back to, and I'm showing my age here, let's go back to the 80s and 90s. And I want to go buy a TV. I mentioned the TV part, right? So back in the 80s, you had to go to a store. Maybe you went to a Sears. Maybe you went to, any of those types of big box kind of locations, and you would look at the TVs and you would try the TVs, and then you'd go to the next place and you'd go to the next place, and you'd probably go to 4 or 5 different locations looking for the best deal, the best TV, and then you'd make that decision. Now, that was an all-day thing, right? Or you're looking at a car, right? So I'm going to buy a car. I look online. I understand what the car is all about. Now I have to go from dealership to dealership to dealership, right? That's why you see this rise of things like CarMax and Drive Time and all of them where it's no negotiation, like this is the price. Time is extremely valuable. So when we go to buy something, we're looking at things like reviews, what people are saying, because we want to speed up that process. We don't want to spend all day shopping for a TV or an entire weekend shopping for a car. That's just how society is. It's instant gratification with the technology that's in our hands, and that's why things have changed in the last 40, 50 years.
Alexis and I are going to go up to the city. If you're listening somewhere else, we're like 30 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. And we're going to go up, go to dinner, spend the night, maybe go to lunch the next day and just come home. Maybe a 2-nighter, who knows. But I know the restaurants that I like to go to, and they're all rated really well and so forth. But she's always bringing up, well, this is a newer one. There's plenty of buzz about it. Why don't we get off of our track and go somewhere else? And I'm like, okay. And every time I do, I'm so angry that I didn't go to I never go to the city. Maybe 4 times a year now. I used to work there, go every day. And so I know like some standard old restaurants, and I know what I'm going to get, and I know how good the drink's going to be, and I know how good the plate is. And then all of a sudden I'm going somewhere where the buzz is. I don't know what to order. And but we go because she saw it on the internet. That's the new person telling you about a new restaurant. It's just strangers telling you about it instead.
Yeah. There's a couple new restaurants in our area that I've seen a lot of buzz recently. A lot of people talking, have you tried? And that's the first thing, right? When people are asking you, have you been to this place and you haven't heard of it? That's when you know there's something going on. I was laughing because about 2 weeks ago, my wife asked me, we were having coffee in the morning, and she asked me, have you heard of this new restaurant? And I said, I have. And she goes, what's it all about? I go, I don't know, but there's buzz like crazy, and everyone is going. And every time I go to Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any of them, people are there, right? Like it seems to be recurring over and over and over again. So does that get me inclined to go there? I don't know, right? We don't go out that much, but if I was going to that town, that city, and I heard about it, yeah, I would probably look into it and want to go there. But you're right. You have your old staples that you want to go to, but somebody's pushing you to go somewhere else. You just can't ignore the buzz. It's that whole fear of missing out that we all have, and that's it's just an interesting way that human beings they just don't want to miss out on these things, and we will literally take something that we know is safe, that we know we're going to enjoy. You go to the city 4 times a year, those 4 times I go to this restaurant and it's going to be exactly what I want it to be. But no, I'm going to forego that, and I'm now going to go to this place I have no idea. It could be a horrible experience, but I'm going to roll the dice. And it's all because somebody said something.
So I know the answer to this personally, but sometimes I think it's like, I've been sitting in restaurants going, this is an illusion. Mm-hmm. This was an illusion, and I'm here, and I'm going to spend $150, $200 on dinner and one drink because we're out of here after one drink. But the illusion can get created also on the authenticity of it.
Yeah, what you see online isn't always exactly what you're getting, right? So I had this actually yesterday. I was looking to buy something that was down in Texas, and I reached out to my brother who's in Miami, and I said, your thoughts on this? So he goes and he does some research on it, and he goes, it doesn't seem authentic. And I go, what do you mean? And he starts sending me some things that he had pulled up, and I'm like, oh. And it was a pretty substantial buy of something that I was going to go out there and get, but he goes, something seems off. And I'm like, okay. So I start diving into it a little bit more because you have this whole polished look on their website and their social and all this stuff, but then you went to Google and you start looking at the facility and all this other stuff, and it was completely different than what you're seeing on the website. I'm like, okay, so it's kind of like this whole facade that they're putting out there, but in reality, it doesn't match, right? Or what you see a lot of times on social is people will create this authentic feeling of it's not quite polished, it's shaky cameras, it looks like somebody's done it, in the back office. But then you show up and it's all put together, right? So that you just never know what you're going to get by seeing something online. And you assume what you see is real. But I've seen many times where what you see and you're getting ready to expect, and then you show up and it's maybe 1/6 the size of that it looks online. It's that creative camera
frying
angles.
pans.
Yeah.
I bought a frying pan for $80, and it looked massive. And then I got it, and it was just just for one grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went back to the picture, and I'm like, they must have had the smallest person with the smallest hands ever in that picture. But anyways,
but that's again. The digital age has created an environment where we tend to believe things we see out there, but do your due diligence. But, if from a business perspective, realize that, we need to create an environment that people have the ability to communicate and share, right? Because people will believe what others say about your business more than what you say in your ads or even on your website.
So what should, by the way, Adriana, I can't remember if it was not, are we at 15 minutes or 25 right now? There you go.
Yeah,
all right, we'll cut that little part out because I didn't write it down and I'm dyslexic, so I have two numbers in my head. Yeah. I'm like, it's one of those two. Yeah. But all right, so we can keep going. So let's bring this down to the small and medium-sized business, okay? First of all, the main thing that many of us are afraid of is that just rotten review. Mm-hmm. And that can really just turn everything about your business. You may have a great business and one person doesn't like you in some other. I mean, it's impossible for us to get good reviews here on the radio because everybody hates something somebody said. So, but I mean, that's what people are afraid of. The HVAC guy, he kind of downplays the reviews because he's seen other guys get a one or two bad ones, and it just affected their business for years.
Well, I mean, if you respond to those one or two, right, you show that you're interested in fixing it, right? Maybe something happened that was out of your control, but you can jump back in there and you say, please contact us. We'd love to make this right. That shows a lot more than just perfect reviews, right? So me personally, if I'm buying something and it has a 5-star review and it's 200 reviews, no negative, I go, I don't believe it, right? I just don't believe it.
You think they're stacking the deck?
I think they're stacking the deck.
All right, how can you stack the deck?
Well, you can stack the deck all you want.
How?
Well, I mean, a lot of people will have reviews on their website, and they're unfortunately, there are plugins that you can put into like a WordPress or Shopify where you can scrub out the negative reviews, right? So you got to realize, like, when you're out there buying this stuff, people will actually scrub those out, the ones, the twos, right? I personally believe I love to see a 1 or a 2 or even, just kind of a middle 3 because I want to see how they respond to it. So, if you're on Google Business Profile and you have a 1-star review, my favorite are the ones that you get a 1-star review and it's like, we've never had this customer. Maybe you're thinking about somebody else, but you're not in our system. To me, I look at that and go, okay, well, obviously somebody got mixed up and, that 1 star doesn't resonate with them. Okay. Maybe somebody goes out there and puts that, and maybe it was, somebody that had a negative review for them. But I think how you respond to reviews tells a lot about your character. So your HVAC guy, if something were to happen and he gets a 1-star review, him coming back in there and going, well, you're under warranty for a year. Let us come back and make it right. Give us a call at this number and we'll schedule you in the next week. That to me says, okay, if I buy this furnace and it goes out in a year or it goes out in 90 days or whatever, they're going to come back and help me out. That's worth more to me than just a 5-star review with nothing in it.
So your average business isn't like really got any reviews or anything. So they got a website and they're like, well, how do I go about getting reviews? How do you start?
Yeah, going back to your HVAC, your buddy, if he's out there and he is putting in entire HVAC systems, I mean, you're talking $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000 systems. Put them in, let them run, right? Follow up with them a week later and say, hey, we're collecting reviews. Hopefully you're satisfied. You kind of go above and beyond, but it could be an email. It could even be that day you could have a QR code that literally goes right back to your Google business profile to give them a review. There's plenty of tools out there to do that. But honestly, what I tell everyone is reviews will shoot you to the top, good or bad. They're going to shoot you to the top along with photos and videos of the products and services and things that you do in those profiles. So don't be afraid of reviews. If you get a negative review, go back in and try and make it right. Hopefully they'll change it. If they won't change it, at least you've got a comment on there as to why something happened or how you are trying to fix it. Nobody wants to be ignored when they provide a review, right? So, and I've done that plenty of times where I've given a review that's positive and I've given maybe like a handful of negative reviews and nobody ever responds to those. And it drives me insane because I tried to fix it with a phone call. I tried to do this, I tried to do that, and then finally I'm just like, well, I don't want somebody else to get burned by this, so I'm going to put that out there. Here's my experience, and I provide all of the details of it. There are people that will give you a negative review. There are ways to get those off. There's a way to appeal things like that, but you've got to prove that it's not a just somebody out to get you, that it's maybe you've never done business with them or whatever it may be, but reviews are huge. I mean, I cannot say it enough. This is the way we shop. This is the way we look at things, whether it's an influencer or whether it's a rating system. That's how people shop at this point.
So he's Matt Hanson. I'm Jim Delo. This is the Mastering Local Marketing Podcast, and we're good, right? Yep. So until next time, we'll see you later.